Hello and welcome to Heroes and Generals Devstream live from Copenhagen. This is episode number 51. I'm Reto Gargamel and with me is the game director, Reto Redbjarne. We will keep it, I guess, short and sweet today because we're basically on the week after Young was released. And this week Young was released, and so we're still kind of taking it in and enjoying the massively positive response that we've got for the build. Maybe we could go over a little bit of what people have been noticing in this new update. We know that there's still some performance issues that are going on, and we are constantly working on that. There are some hotfixes already that have been deployed. We've had a lot of feedback about the on-screen effects, the water splashing and the dirt splashing on the screen also. Apparently people love that aspect, the suppression. But getting shot in the foot and getting like a blood spatter all the way up to your eyes, really, that's not as popular. So apparently we are looking at maybe tweaking that.
Yeah, that'll probably be tweaked a bit, but it's
but just the blood.
Just the blood, yeah. And we're talking about like the full screen type blood.
Right.
So
yeah, you have like a little bit of like just some like blood splatter.
It's Colin and Leto who will do the tweaking, so we'll have to see what they come up with. But it's to those who thinks we should just completely remove it. It's there to stay. We think it actually works. It's just a bit too much, so we'll tone it down a bit.
Otherwise, we got some delicious chocolate here.
Oh yeah,
from
lots of chocolate.
Yeah, okay. It's a good thing. Yeah, Splixen wrote it down for me because otherwise it's hard to remember. So thank you, Mugwumpus. For
thanks for the chocolate, and I hope you
chocolate bars.
Enjoy the goodies that's been sent to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it closer to my microphone so you can really hear it.
Oh, great! We love chocolate, and there was a lot of it actually. Bags and bags of chocolate.
It's all that's left. So,
yeah, because Splixen is like in regard to sugar intake, it's like a black hole. It's like sucks everything in.
I think he's just doubled his mass. He looks the same, but he's more dense in a good way.
He's starting to
not dense in the British sense.
He's starting to crystallize from all the sugar.
Right. That would be awesome, like fire up the Splixen crystals. Sounds like something from science fiction.
It is.
The Splixen reactor is overloading. So, we were back to reality. So we want to mention also the stats database. We talked about it, I think, last time a little bit. We're almost ready to unleash, to unveil a new stats database. Actually, unveil, you're not really going to see it. Unleash is better.
Maybe a proper word.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, what this is doing, and I've been trying to kind of spread the word around because I'm getting a lot of tickets about all the side effects of the war server being a little bit struggling to handle all the requests. It's choppy. So
choppy performance.
So. From time to time, everything is smooth. From time to time, like the user interface can become unresponsive. It's possible that you see stuff being reported incorrectly in your battle reports, in your soldier screens. You see like max experience where like your blue bar is not even touching any line. So that's not right. That's the server failing to update the data properly to your client. There's so if you click on a button, nothing happens, and then you end up buying stuff twice. Also, that's the server unfortunately doing that. We hope that when we unleash the new database, it's gonna actually relieve the load that's on the war server and make everything a little bit more smooth.
Yeah.
And but in the meantime, like if you have like a hard time joining battles, you get empty battle reports that say you have like 0 experience gains, 0 credits. That's not true. You are gaining it. It's just the war server is not displaying it to you when it happens.
sometimes it's the front end that's not catching up. With the back end is actually okay. So.
So this being said, that's supposed to come in ASAP as soon as they're done testing it, right? And they're testing it right now.
Yeah, it has been tested for the last few weeks. It requires quite a lot of testing to check that everything is okay with the server.
Well, when it happens, when we put it online, it's going to be like as usual, like a maintenance.
I don't know how.
Right?
In detail how they do it, but it's something that it will. I think they talked about it. Once you log on, it will transfer your stuff from the old server to the new one. So especially when it's come up, the first people if everybody logs on at the same time, it will probably be a longer login for the first time because the server has to transfer your data. But after that, it will be quicker, and apparently that's sort of like the best way to do it.
Okay, so but when we do it though, like people are going to notice that we take the game offline for a little bit and then we put it back on.
Yeah, and then the first login will be somewhat slower than
right. So we're not doing this like not after this show. It's going to be next week if at the earliest. This being said, some people have noticed that. Well, the way this is described here is like in the action game since young, the XP gained for defense has been lowered, but it's not lowered, right?
It's actually more it's just spread more out. I think the problem is that it was one of those things where
sorry, Frank, you moved your mic.
Oh yeah. Because I sound far away, or it's on my shoulder. So.
The defense XP was one of those things that was noted that we wanted to do, but for some bizarre reason, the actual number change didn't reach the build, and we just discovered it just right after launch. It was like, oh, this number is not correct. So we went in and hotfixed it, or just put it on the next maintenance build, and it was lowered from 60 to 10. And it seems like people, now they are they're nerfing the whole system again, and it's not actually nerfing. It's because we added a bunch of new XP drivers to the system. So in order to not skew the whole XP system by just adding more XP, we have to take the XP from somewhere. Some of the parameters have to be lowered a bit in order to shift XP to other parameters, and we simply forgot one of them. And it's the reason why we wanted to lower the defense XP is also that we think it dominates the whole scoreboard way too much. You can see that it is one of those scores that before the young was very dominant in players' score list. So in order not to skew it too much towards that one parameter.
Yeah, because you got to attack too. Right. Yeah, you have to do both.
Yeah. So it's simply a matter of spreading out. I just talked to Oxen just before we went on here, and he said he just pulled the numbers out of the database for the XP earnings since young, and the general XP earnings actually haven't really changed. So like the overall average earning is the same as before, which means that it probably worked pretty well with the moving around of the numbers.
Just gonna, while you read the chat, apparently we're supposed to look at the chat. I'm just gonna check here what XP drivers are mentioned. I think there's some that are mentioned in the changelog. So just look here. Yeah, there you go. So if you go and look at the changelog on the forum for Young, you can see what XP bonuses have been tweaked. And for example, there's a increased XP for the parachute ribbon. There's some new ways apparently to, like, if you steal a Jeep and a motorcycle, you get some driver XP just for stealing it, not driving it. That kind of stuff. So that there's always with every update really we add a little bit of that, but there's actually a bit more than usual.
That's a bit more than usual, and it's one of those things where obviously we'll slowly adding more and more XP drivers, but we will have to take them from somewhere else and put them in. And too massive of a change might actually ruin the whole balance of the thing, and would make sure that we had to tweak other numbers, which we know that. From experience, people don't like us to tweak other numbers. For example, if we just kept adding XP to the drivers without removing some in other places, we'd had to at some point recalculate some of the stats drivers for ranking and stuff like that. For example, so we'd had to raise the XP required for rank. So that's the reason why we try to keep it balanced in order to not to touch too many parameters at once. There's lots of great suggestions from the community and from players on what should be awarded XP, and I think we always like to have more suggestions of what you think should be awarded with XP, and we'll slowly put them into the game so you actually get XP from everything you do in the game, but in a more balanced way.
By the way, isn't it something that is kind of made possible by having a new stats DB? That is to add more XP drivers, to add more ways of measuring
I think
XP.
This just happens directly on the action client.
Okay.
So it's not.
So it's not directly influenced by the.
No, but it's true that obviously the new stat DB will be able to handle a lot more statistics, because the more stuff we add, obviously it's going to get slower. Every time we add just one parameter, it's one per player, and with the number of players we constantly have to serve it's actually a heavy load on the server. So we have to be a little bit careful with that.
So, otherwise, I guess it's we don't have a choice but to mention that the Avira antivirus has been giving us a hard time again at the beginning of the week.
Sorry, the
Avira or Avira?
Yeah. I can only say to you, Avira.
Yeah.
Uninstall that shit and get yourself a proper virus protection system instead, because this is just.
I'm just getting
we're having trouble with that.
A lawsuit from the fax here.
Yeah. They're so slow with this. Like we usually mail them and contact them, and it's really not nice for us that they are so unresponsive, because it hurts a lot of the players. And every time we get this, there's a virus or malware or something in the build, and it's just false positives, but it actually hurts us quite a lot. So maybe we should just send a letter to him saying that we'll put it on the front page of the game that uninstall this Avira because it's hurting, it's not working properly.
But so it was I think twice in a row, right? We released an update.
Yeah.
And then it left us alone, and then we released a hotfix, and then it started giving us trouble again. So but that I mean, again, is not related to the infection that was on the test server. Yeah. So, like, all of it is under control now, and. So I guess, but it kind of stopped happening, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't
actually with the effects here. Yeah, there's a question here from Mobster001 who's asking me, please explain why there's mud on my screen when I'm getting shot in a fighter.
Oh,
you know what? That's not mud. I will get a look at it.
No, seriously, like if you have like debris from your plane disintegrating, what should it look like?
No, it should probably just be removed.
Completely.
At a certain height or something. I don't know the technical solution for that.
What it could be sparks? Something like that?
Maybe.
Sparks or something?
I haven't set up the system, so I'm not really sure what the details of the system. Just a suggestion.
Apart from that, we're getting more feedback that mysteriously people seem to like the new Kettenkrad.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. It's just awesome.
I think it's nice.
There's no reason to freak out. It's awesome.
It's a funny vehicle, and
we are unflippably.
It has actually prompted us into looking at and if we can add some other funny infantry tractors and stuff for the other factions as well. There's some players have come with a lot of suggestions for other tractors. And I know Ville, who's doing the weapons and the vehicles, he actually really loves putting in like the odd vehicles rather than just the expected World War II things. He actually likes to so like introduce stuff that's not as commonly seen in games. So maybe you'll get lucky.
That one, honestly, it's. I mean, I've seen people trying to flip it.
Yeah,
it's impossible. It's
maybe it's a little bit too good.
Too unflippable.
Yeah, a little bit too unflippable.
Hey, too unflippable. That sounds like too unlimited.
Oh.
So, and otherwise, people are very happy to be able to play paratroopers with grenades now that they have a M1 carbine with folding stock. That's actually, I haven't tried that.
No.
I've always thought, I'm a paratrooper and I'm so used to lobbing grenades all over the place, and I'm going to go and try that right after this, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can see overall the build is actually pretty good. There's been quite a few, I think, some bumps here in the beginning of that's why we launch it on a Tuesday usually, new builds rather than on a Friday, because the most players actually come in and play the game during Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we have to have a few days before just to fix the worst of the bugs.
And the server nastiness tends to happen when everybody wants to play at the same time.
Yeah,
also,
it sort of like takes the load of the servers by having all the veterans and the hardcore players to join first and get their updates. So that's why we do it like this. It's sort of like a silent launch, you could say like that. We'll have obviously promotion videos and stuff out next week, I think.
Actually, we're trying a new style of video log where it's more action packed and more to the point. So that's going to come next week. I guess we could. The plan was to take a few questions that are
actually, I think
related to.
It's like. Obviously, you can ask. Obviously, you can always ask anything in the chat.
But if it's too off topic,
it's our privilege to ignore it if we don't feel like answering it. But we will obviously try and answer the best questions. There was something I wanted to say, but I have totally forgot it. So I'll just that's regarding to the.
I talk too much.
With the builds. Oh yeah, actually, there's the. It's nice to see that it seems like the Germans are getting back online with the war. I've been following the war for the last few days, and it seems like
were they losing?
Yeah, they were actually pushed back all the way down to Italy, and then they over the last 24 hours, I think they're actually starting to. I don't know if you can fire up the game.
I am in the game.
Yeah. Let's see how far they are. It's pretty exciting to see.
Updating more info.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of debate going on in the forums about the underdog bonus being unfair, which is I must admit I'm pretty stoked that anybody would find it unfair.
I think they don't quite get how it works, though.
No, but it's the same thing as we give a bonus to the factions who have it the hardest. But obviously, they would always leave like the top one as having no bonus, but that could also be perceived as a punishment. So, you see, they actually go
they've got all of Southern and half of Eastern Europe.
Yeah,
and I mean, I wouldn't.
No, but this standstill has been going. It's slowly getting up towards Berlin. It's going to be exciting to see if they actually manage to recapture Berlin, but that's where they suddenly start to get a massive pressure from the Soviets. So I know it's a tempting target to recapture Berlin.
It's symbolic.
Yeah, but it's also very hard.
But I think like do they really need it to win? Because they could just go and eat Warsaw.
It also amazes me that it seems like players are somewhat always trying to do the same. So like areas they capture, they're not, and it could be something to do with the actual map structure. But it is funny that the Germans kind of like they're not trying to. They could, in theory, try to just migrate to a completely different part of the map. They could go all the way down and try and take all the Soviets and just leave Europe. Say, oh no, we're gonna take the Soviet turf, or go all in on England, for example. But I haven't really seen that stuff happening. It gives some good inspiration for what needs to be tweaked next on the map. Now, if you go down to the Black Sea, there's a go down to the Black Sea. There will be on the
It's a bit far.
on the west coast of here. Here you go. This area
Yeah,
here.
yeah. What's that?
It seems like that's just like a point. This area has been held for the entire war almost. So it's very, very. It's apparently very easy to supply from both sides.
You're talking about. I've never heard of these places. Medgidia.
They're there. According to Google, they're there. They should be there.
So wait, but this in
that-
modern day countries, that would be what, Azerbaijan or what? Or,
Sorry?
No, that's not no. This is Romania, right? I was looking in the wrong direction. I think
Yeah.
it's part of Romania, if I'm not
But
mistaken.
I think what we should try and do next would probably to take to continue just adding battlefields all the way around the Black Sea, so you'll be you can actually get to Crimea from the other side.
If I'm not mistaken, this is Azerbaijan, right?
I have no idea. All these countries down there, I must admit that I'm not totally aware of the exact borders of those countries. I just know they are somewhere there. If you look at a map, I can probably find them. But that's interesting. This
First guy who nails it, actually, I'll send him a voucher for a guy who says that what country this is right there.
Whoa.
Check the chat. And
There is Jerry1138 who's.
oh no, it's Georgia, isn't it? It's Georgia, I think.
Yeah, it's actually yeah. That's
I think
true.
it's
And
Georgia.
it's not the U.S. state, but the actual country.
Are you making a Beatles reference?
I don't know. I don't really like Beatles. I think
You don't know that song, Back in the USSR?
Yeah, I do know it. But
And
I'm not a big Beatles fan.
Me neither. I mean, you're a Slayer fan, but
Yeah, but I think Beatles is
As labeled on
kind
your
of like
t-shirt.
a bit I would say overrated. Just
Well,
because it's old, it doesn't mean
I
it's
think they
good.
overrated themselves when they said like we're more popular than Jesus. I mean, that's like how to overrate yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
As Jerry1138 is asking, will you make it easier for the German faction to hold Germany in the future? If so, how? If you go back to Germany,
Yep.
it is a very hard thing to actually hold or design this to be to hold Germany. But I will make some more attempts to make some more barriers in you say choke points. Around, I think next time we will look at Poland and make some more channels there, so it should be easier to sort of like block some of that. But it is obviously the trouble with Germany is it's in the middle of everything, so it makes sense that it actually gets attacked from both sides. We have tried this time around to add more attack lines towards Scandinavia in order to make it easier for America and the Soviet Union to clash, and that was sort of like the idea behind that.
But the other thing also is that in historical World War II,
Chocolate.
Berlin was not. They didn't have to reach out at the same time as the other guys were coming in. They kind of reached out.
Yeah, in the beginning.
They were. What was the
Maybe
word
we
I'm
should
looking
just,
for? They had no obstacles in their path until the other guys started.
Maybe we should give them Warsaw as a starting.
Yeah, right. So if you wanted to look like World War II, they would start with Warsaw because that's what they ate first. And
Yeah.
nom.
Yeah. It'll be funny. We could do some experimentation with the starting capitals. We could even let the players decide. Or randomize it completely, but that would probably confuse people even more.
The U.S. Army starts out in Moscow.
Yeah.
That's a joke. That's not good.
Oh, it's not? For real?
Have Russian guys finding out where I live.
No.
This being said, do we have any...
There's Rap Gallen who's saying, but the Soviet Union and the US don't want to fight. They're such good friends. That's okay. They also have, like, right now we started to lower the capacity of the assault teams again, because it seems like it is. We can see on the numbers it's slowly starting to get to the point where the Soviet Union is not completely steamrolled, but it also obviously activates a lot more players because the queue times is a bit shorter, and that's probably what you can see is happening here. But the great thing is that we can see that actually a lot of battles is being created in the war. So it seems like there's a lot to do in the war, and together with the underdog bonus, it draws a lot of players to the war mission as well. So they're actually getting played by players, which is also nice.
Yeah, because I mean, there's really like 1, 2.
It seems like the Soviets have
There's
created
three
like
front lines. There's really
huge
3 front lines.
bulge right now. Battle of the gigantic bulge.
Technically, I mean, so this here would be the bulge, even though they're wedged between their two enemies.
Yeah.
So they're. I mean, technically, is this here the same front line as this? Because this is Germany versus the US.
Yes.
This is the Soviet Union versus Germany.
Yeah. And you can see again, up there in
Soviet
the north
Union versus the US.
Yeah, you'll see that they're
fighting for
really,
Estonia.
They must be fighting because there's lots of battles going on there. So some Soviet Union and US players might not want to play, but it's hard to keep an alliance like that with only players having to agree not to attack each other, because the game is built like this. So obviously anybody can join in, and if there's not enough players who will join a battle, it will get started. So it takes quite some organization to actually make an effective like non-attack,
non-aggression pact.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting that Scandinavia somehow is a path to the east in this war.
And obviously the thing is that it's actually there's only one faction who can win. So there will always be 2 losing factions and one winner.
But so far it looks like
I haven't seen much
it's almost a tie.
Actually,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it is. But I haven't really seen much action in the area of the Soviet Union. In whole Russia, it seems to be a place where the Germans never go. It's funny that
that's more than Berlin being captured. That is weird.
Maybe they're too much learning too much from history.
No, let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
It's never gonna work.
Tried that before. No, not gonna work.
Do we have any more?
Good chocolate.
I guess
I'm just gonna get.
No, but we can't eat at the same time. Then nobody can talk, or I mean, nobody can make consonants.
All right. I'm gonna pick some more questions here, if we can find something interesting. Ice Warrior 92 is asking, how have you planning to expand the war map? The rest of Finland, maybe? Yeah, I was actually looking at that at one point. The thing is that the whole map is built out of a super detailed, you say clip art, vector image of Europe. And in order to generate the resolution that we need for you to be able to zoom into the map, I need some very detailed material. And I haven't really been able to find anything of that area other than Google. So I actually started doing it myself, but I just really quickly realized that this is just hand drawing a map, especially with the Finnish coastline and stuff. It's just insane. It will take forever.
It's. I mean, all the north, also Norway.
That's just
like somebody dropped a bag of cookies and they all exploded, and that's all the islands.
But if anybody out there finds somebody who's offering let's call it vector images of these parts of the world, maps, just give me a private message or something. I'll look into it, because that's actually what I haven't been looking at. I haven't been spending too much time looking for it though. But that's what I need in order to create the rest of the map up there.
Because right now we got Leningrad. We're technically
it would also be nice to just slightly expand the map so we can get Stalingrad on it as well. It's just
It's kind of
just outside.
It's a shame that it's not there. So where's Helsinki? Isn't it? No, it's not that one. It's this one. No, that's. Wait a minute. Where is it? I was asking for it, and then it was just it centers the screen on it. But I'm thinking
try and see if you can click on the center of the screen.
Is it
No.
this one? What? Where?
Yeah.
This one. Oh, that one. Okay. I thought. I don't know. For some reason, I thought it was on the west coast. It's kind of like west-ish compared to the rest of the thing that's missing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah.
The other thing is that obviously maps are always stretched in some way. So I have to be sure that, and that's going to be the hard part of this, is to any vector map that I get that is not if it doesn't have the same projection as this map, it's going to be skewed in some way. So it's a bit of a annoying fiddling around with the map in order to get it fixed. So, yeah, might sound simple, but it actually isn't. Okay.
If it's too quiet...
Pitbull 1973 is asking, are there any plans for making gold voucher codes available for us to purchase via the in-game store or Steam to be used for Twitch giveaways? Some streamers want to be able to buy these for their viewers and not rely on freebies from Reto. I think so. We are looking into doing something like that.
I don't know.
But it's a bit complicated to we are working on a new a bundling system, so we can bundle all sorts of shit together in the store, and voucher codes should be maybe
because in the meantime right now I know that some people want to reward their clan members and stuff, and then there's Steam gift cards.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the only way you can give gold, but so far. But there's also a matter of I think it's a security thing also, that we don't want people to be able to just give.
Yeah, we don't want those codes to end up on eBay and all that stuff. So it's there's lots of fraud going on. Okay. Splixen is saying that I'm showing the normal speed of candy intake for game dev. Well,
that's a compliment. It's a compliment. I think.
Let's see if there's other questions here.
Again, we don't really have that much new stuff to talk about besides the new release. So
there is iWaxy is saying, are you guys working on an easier way to manage assault teams? It seems like the more ATs you get, the harder it gets to manage them when it comes to moving them. Also, can you make it so that we can select multiple ATs at the same time and move them to certain points, etc.? Yes, we have talked a bit about how to organize the assault team, maybe to just the fact that you could group them together. Say these 10 assault teams is just one group, and then when you move it, you issue the same order to all of them. It would also be nice that you could, because they move at different speeds. So sometimes if they move over a long distance, it's preferable to have some sort of a mechanism that makes sure they arrive at the same time, rather than that you have to make sure that you move the slowest one first and then have to sort of calculate when it arrives. I think that's something we would like to put in the game. The UI team right now is super busy working on the excellent new UI for the squad system. But I know that they would really like to take a look at the campaign screen and give it an overhaul. So I expect that stuff to be made at some point. But the squad system right now has our most highest priority. Then Rain of Fire is asking, when will the British faction be in the game? They are. Have you seen it? It's
come from there.
It's hard to unlock them though, but no, at some point I can't say when, obviously. MOS1NSS is just asking pistol sounds.
Yeah, not everybody likes the pistol sounds.
Yeah,
I think.
I think we should take a look at or take an ear on the sounds at some point and go through them, because it's a lot of we have got a lot of complaints about especially the new sounds, but also the pistol sound seems to have changed. So we're gonna look into that and see what's happening. Let's see here. Global Gaming P. Are you planning to add mobile payment like MoPay? We're not planning to do exactly that, but I know that we are looking into other payment methods at the moment. So maybe. Then there is Sames is asking, what direction do we want to take the game realism-wise? Will tanks and planes always take the same damage independent on where you hit them? Make it possible to crit a tank?
Critical hit, I guess.
Yeah, or plane to do more damage like headshots. Right now our armor model is sort of like in a semi-okay state, I would guess. We would, especially the guys who's working with the vehicles and would like to do sort of like an upgraded armor model at some point. When we will have time to do it, I really can't say that much about it, but we are looking into getting a more precise armor model where you have sort of like internal parts and all that stuff, because we do have it's a bit too simple as it is now, I think. But it's also I think it's a balance, because if it gets too realistic, it also gets really hard, because it's hard to explain what actually happens, because if you have internal ricochet and all that stuff, it's just gotta get like it might get to a point where it's just too complicated to explain, and in the long run, in the sort of like the grand scheme of things, it might not make a difference. It's just a lot of complexity for almost nothing. But it would be nice that the obvious places are obviously
more vulnerable.
Yeah. I don't know still if I think if it's a great idea to sort of like disable a tank in the way that you hit the tracks and then they can't drive and stuff like that, because then you would probably just really quickly get into the sort of gameplay where tanks are always disabled, and once you're disabled, you're fucked anyway. So it's not that it has this big of an advantage. One thing we would like to do with the tanks for the next sort of like tank armor update is, apart from the armor model, is to take a look at the whole steering. So I think somehow the reverse gears doesn't work as properly as they should. So it's hard to sort of like back out of a battle. And we'd like to get this where you can actually take a hit or two and then retreat from the fight and repair or do something else with instead of just being the first guy who hits is probably also the guy who wins. We're also looking into upgrading the aiming system. Right now we're just discussing how to approach a new or a better way of aiming, so we can get rid of the press space to always hit precisely with your tank. We'd like to have a system where you need to be somewhat calibrating your shot a little bit more by placing one or two shots that you can sort of like adjust your aim from. But again, that might also be very complicated.
Very demanding.
Right? Yeah, maybe way too simulator style. I know a lot of our players hate when we say that, but we actually have been looking a bit on towards the World of Tanks way of illustrating the aim. I think actually the reticle they have there with the circle just zeroing in is actually pretty good. It might be too much of a laser thingy with the green stuff, and I don't really like the actual UI part of it. But I think the technique is actually pretty good. It's easy to understand what's happening. You look at it and you go, okay, I get this. There's no complicated levels or measurements or anything in the UI that you have to look at. I think if you compare that to the War Thunder one, the War Thunder one is might be a bit more realistic, but it's also already there. It's a bit more. So like you have to understand some more in order to use it, and we do not want to make the game even more complicated to play. We actually want to make it easier to play without removing the complexity, and that's just like that's very ambitious, I'd say, but that is the way we would like to go. We're not super huge fans of this ultra realism. We're making a game, and we want it first and foremost to be a fun game to play for as many people as possible. But also we like the depth and the complexity. So it's kind of like it's two very hard things to try and combine, but that is actually what we are trying to do. So we know that there are some players out there who really likes to have it like super historically correct and realistic, but I think the player base would be so low because it would be so hard and so complicated, and you have to know a lot of stuff in order to play it. So the game would probably die from lack of players. First thing, now I think now people sort of like know it if they played World of Tanks, but there's a lot of players who doesn't even know the difference is that a tank can shoot with different ammunition types and what the difference are between them. So we have like the high explosive and the armor piercing, very you can say like it's a very rough generalization of those different types of ammunition. And we could make them even more like heat and all this. There's lots of different types.
So like more differentiated.
Yeah, but it would just be hard for players to understand because they would actually they would need to understand how the ammunition actually works.
What's heat again? Heat is high explosive and tight tank.
Yeah.
So it's high explosive that works well on armor.
Yeah, and there's different versions of those. The modern anti-tank, the modern shell is basically just a depleted uranium arrow that just it produces when because it's made out of uranium or depleted uranium. But when that comes into contact with normal metal, it actually self ignites. And the shear, because it's super heavy as well, so the shear force of this point is actually like a very slim arrow. That force produces so much heat that it just melts through the tank and just explodes everything that's inside it. That's just a different way of producing a shell, but that just requires a shitload of speed.
So as soon as it hits the armor,
the velocity is super important for those kind of. So it's very complicated stuff, and I think it's probably too complicated to put into a game where players actually get it. I think I find it very interesting, but I also know that it's probably too complicated for a game.
But also, it's true that I mean, it took we had to implement the little messages with the armor penetration so that people would see that what happens.
I think we can safely maybe take a look at other like World of Tanks and War Thunder, those games, and see how complex are those and how far can we go. If they establish something that's complex, I think we can safely say that this kind of complexity looks like people they get it, so we can go there. So that was a long talk for a short question.
But it's a fun question.
Yeah. Let's see. Ghost Crip is saying, when will you polish or tweak with the armor penetration system, or are you happy with the cursor? I just answered that.
Yeah. There's one.
It's the same thing as one thing people have been asking. The same. I think we would also like to same with the encounters, to make a game mode and some maps that is just maybe only tanks, maybe only recon, maybe tanks and planes, and like certain more narrow combinations of
vehicles.
Of vehicles.
There's a guy asking what is Squad 2.0 exactly. What's his name again?
That's XD.
I think you're not supposed to pronounce the X. It's a silent X. I think. I'm not sure.
How should I know?
X-Blitz. Or Blitz.
I'm Danish.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I'm just saying that you put X's because it's like a space.
Squad 2.0 is only, we call it 2.0 just to say that it's the next iteration on the squad system that we're currently working on. It takes a few builds. It sounds like a rather simple thing, but it just ties into so many different aspects of the game. So it has become quite a huge feature. We are well on the way with it. A lot of it has to do with the UI. We really like to try and explain it better what actually happens. That's also why you have seen the current UI updates in the young build. Those are sort of like a step towards the UI for the squad system. The next squad system will have more. The squad window will be a little bit more integrated into the soldier screen. So it wouldn't be this locked window where you can't do anything while you are waiting for your friends to match in. We are aiming at loosening it up so you can actually check out the campaign map while you're waiting for people to be in the lobby. But at the same time, we would like to have it so when you're in the lobby, you should be able to chat with your friends and prepare. One of the big things about the squad system is that it actually, this is from a technical point on the back end, is that it always puts you in a squad. You cannot play the game without being in a squad.
Kind of like PlanetSide does that, right? A little bit. You have to be in a squad.
It's a long time since I've played PlanetSide last time. But obviously you can obviously either get kicked from a squad or leave it by yourself. If you do that while you're in an action game, you will just be placed in a hidden squad that we create instead. So all the guys who get kicked or leave themselves, they'll be being put in a squad by themselves. And if that squad matches, then for the next match they will be put in a new squad where they can play together. New players will also be matched into a squad, and if they're happy with the squad, then they will just continue playing in the same squad for the next battle. So that's kind of like the thinking of the squad system. The squad system also we're losing it. We're making it a little bit more loose with the actual structure of a squad. So it's able to, you have your base squad, for example, infantry, when you play as a squad leader or a squad member, you earn points, and those points can be used to customize the squad by either more slots for more players or for more customizations, like actually adding what we call like a support slot. So your infantry could actually have one slot for recon that you all share. So you can switch a little bit around with the different classes during the battle.
So if you're playing with your brother and he has this special character, you can finally say,
yeah, but everybody have to have the base class. Because the base class determines when you are out of a battle. If you have a recon squad, obviously you can add a support slot that's just a tanker, for example. But once the battle is out of recon tickets, then the squad is on to the next battle. Then you're out. So and having the base squad ensures that everybody is out at the same time, so you don't have players who are just sitting and waiting for the other guys to complete. So it sounds like like you always just have to make this squad system, but all these things ties into the matchmaking as well, which is actually, it's kind of like something that we have been wanting to do for a long time, to take a look at the matchmaking getting bumped up on the next level. So actually, you can say the squad system is also the next iteration of the matchmaking.
I'm so getting it right now. I totally understand how this makes the matchmaking better. Actually, I'm really learning something right now. Because right now in matchmaking, if you join matchmaking, you're just basically matchmakers looking for a spot for you, the individual. And once you find a battle, it fits you in a squad with the other random people that have joined. But then, so you find a battle first, and then it puts you in a squad. Whereas there, you would be in a squad, and then you find a battle for the squad. Yeah, I'm not. It's easier, isn't it?
I think so.
I think it would be
still being built that part. So I think we haven't come to any final. It's not like it's just running and we're ready to roll it out on the live. So we're still building it. So I would expect a lot of weird situation would probably still arise from some of this that will require us to
Test.
do some tweaking on this. Yes.
So, 5 minutes.
Oh, am I talking too much, or do we need some more
Well, apparently
questions?
we found something to talk about. I guess we can take.
Can you
one or
please
two more?
add the soldiers' names to the UI where I can choose my soldiers? It's pretty hard to find the right one. It's Severin 2K who's asking. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. If it's possible to fit the, I think he wants
he
the
means there, yeah, in
he
the,
wants the name on
this
underneath
screen.
the.
Well, if you hover, if you mouse over your soldier, you see the name.
Yeah, but I think it's
But
if you have a lot of soldiers, you would be able to find it quickly.
well, then you just have to change their color, don't you?
It's also we just need to put in some more customizations for the characters, so you can really customize your soldier to look distinct.
True.
Yeah. And then Muhammad Said is asking, will you add feature when soldiers can shoot from moving jeeps?
Oh, that's
That's one of the classics. I know that would be awesome. Leto and Colling says yes.
Oi!
no. The cameraman is actually the principal. How do you say? Involved, interested party in this matter.
I think it would be cool. Maybe limited to some weapons, but also I could get so see this jeep with like 6 guys with bazookas driving around. That would just be inferno, like a tank hunting team. So someday maybe we should test it out at least. But again, we might run into this. Actually, one thing with the squad system is that it also gives us the possibility to put in this switch that says only your squad members
have to have a certain ping.
Can join the support guns on your vehicle.
Ah, yeah, that
Because it is annoying as hell that people, if you want to use your jeep to flank or to sneak up on the enemy, that some guy just jumps into the
wild gunman.
just like yeah.
It's
So,
like, the battle is not even started. It's like ah.
but if you allow players to shoot from the jeep, then you have to have the same mechanics. So, you cannot shoot in don't smoke in my vehicle. don't shoot from my vehicle.
So yeah.
But I think it would be great to be able to do that. That'd be awesome. Might be a little bit too powerful if we allow bazookas and powerful weapons. But pistols and submachine guns might work. Knives.
But isn't there there's one of the things with the ping plays into it, no? When if you're sitting as the gunner in a jeep, doesn't it add to your ping that you have to? I thought somebody said something about that at some point. No, that I
haven't heard that.
That. So you don't get your ping
Probably
plus the driver's
frame rate
ping.
might be changed by somebody just shooting.
Right. No, I thought it was like that because the jeep is moving and somebody else is controlling it, then the way your client is updating that. Maybe I misunderstood it completely then.
Let's see if we have what is the.
But you are concentrating a lot of effects in the same space.
Yeah, I think that might be something that
okay.
people think it's perceived as being choppy, but it's more like
It's
just
effects intensive.
Yeah. Let's see if there's more questions here. Nick 3862 is asking, will you buff the semi-autos? People have been asking a little bit about that. I'm not really sure. We need some more I would say reason to do that. I don't think really that we have any reason to do that right now. So maybe not. But obviously, every time we introduce new weapons to the system, every time we change something, we have to go back and look because it's all a big. Everything is so interconnected that we have to revisit old stuff and see if it needs tweaking. So. What's the new update name? Is this this bird is on fire? It's the Z build.
The next one? Oh yeah,
next
Z.
one?
What
Z.
starts with Z? Or Z?
Z Zorro.
Zorro. Yes. Or I got nothing. Zoolander.
Zorglub.
Yeah. Oh, Zorglub.
Yeah.
Like the guy from Spirou.
Yeah.
The one who spoke backwards. Yeah.
BMSXXL is asking, what's your next plan for the next update, like weapons?
No weapons.
We're not going to tell you yet.
Next update will be peaceful. No weapons. I guess we could start maybe wrapping up and.
Let's see if there is. It's.
Because it's 4 p.m. The bells are ringing.
So we're done.
We're done. It looks like we're done.
We're done.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on live and play a few games. So if you wanna shoot me in the face, you know where to find me.
Yeah.
I guess quickly we talked about what the feedback has been for the young update. Mostly positive for pretty much everything we added, especially the unflippable Kettenkrad. We talked about some of the server stuff that is happening and quite a bit about the strategy game also. And we took some questions from the chat. So if you missed the beginning, we are going to put this on YouTube later, and also it's going to be available on Twitch for a while. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook.
And actually, you should.
What else?
No, but the thing is,
Instagram. No, not yet.
The Twitchers. We have some of the guys that are actually playing the game.
Yeah.
We once in a while go in and just to check it out, see people play. It's actually great to just watch somebody else play your game and to watch the comments and everything. It's very honest. We usually, we sometimes go into the chat, and if you spot us there, just feel free to ask questions. Well, at least I will answer them as I can.
Yeah.
So support the Twitchers.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to find more people who are twitching our game, again, just the search bar up there.
Yeah.
And so we will be seeing you next week. Thank you for watching, and thank you for playing. Have a nice weekend. See you on live in a few minutes.